Hey, this is Matt, and today I want to go over our most popular implied volatility calculation to follow up on a blog post I did earlier. This is our constant maturity implied volatilities, or interpolated volatilities as they're called. I wanted to take a look at that. Then, the good thing about these is that you could always see what the 30-day volatility is and compare that over time, or the 60-day I'm going to show today. And I think an even more important thing is to do it while taking out earnings, because what tends to happen if there's earnings, the volatility starts to go up as the earnings gets closer, and the effect of that earnings day is greater on the expirations. If you could take those out, then you get a better feel for the actual volatility of a particular stock. So I'm going to look at Tesla. It's been in the news lately. The 60-day X earnings interpolated implied volatility is 55.5. And we explain how we do that calculation. We take the at-the-money volatilities and we weight them around the 60-day. So there's a 50-day and a 71-day. So 60 is basically in between. So you're going to get a pretty good weighting between these two. But also what we do is we take out the earnings effect. So we would say 59.4 as the actual volatility of the February expiration, minus what we calculate as a earnings effect, or the amount of the implied volatility that is attributable to the earnings. So it's kind of interesting, I think, to see, earnings is in early February. February 1st is a 58 vol, and it jumps way up to a 64 vol. Well, that's a big earnings effect, and that's what we attempt to isolate at ORATs. And again, for this interpolated X earnings volatility, we try to take that out of those months. As far as where you could find it in our API, so our API, it's great to be able to go to our earnings core, type in Tesla, and you could see the entire history of Tesla. And here we have the X earnings 10, 20, 30, and 60 days. And then I'll just scroll down to the bottom. There's that 55.5 60-day calculation. And that's interesting to compare that to and we'll kind of scroll over to the non-X earnings. So here's the non-X earnings, which is 60. And you could see that in 20 days, it's 53.01. Let's go over and see what the 20-day 53.01. So that tells us that the implied volatility, or in 20 days, there's no earnings, and we could see there's no earnings effect. So in those cases where there's no earnings effect, the X earnings volatility is the same as the volatilities with earnings still in them. So that was a quick overview of how we look at interpolating volatility, including how we interpolate with earnings dates. Thanks.